just to duck this guy. It's a suspenseful story. It's a pretty basic thriller about how this woman gets away from this guy, and it's got a pretty satisfying ending. So I think it would make a pretty good film, or maybe even a short film with something else. Another Stephen King book that would make it may or may not make a good film, and I think that's probably why they haven't filmed it yet, is The Long Walk, which was one of the Bachman books. And I know that Frank Darabont, for a long time, had the rights to it, but he just never got around to adapting it. He ended up doing The Walking Dead instead. So, in case you're not familiar with the story, The Long Walk is set in a dystopian future where every year there's an endurance contest where 100 young men, most of them are in their late teens, they just set out on the trail and they walk. And the person that is left standing at the end of it, he gets whatever he wants for the rest of his life. But it's a long endurance test, and obviously, and as they go, they find out things about themselves because, you know, they have to fill the 3 or 4 days that they're just walking, as everybody. And of course, if you sit down for too long or if you get too many warnings, then they kill you. So that's it's pretty brutal, especially when the first shot happens and you're quite surprised. And then as you get attached to the characters and then they start picking them off one by one, each death gets kind of more and more brutal and upsetting, and you just want to see where this is going. But it's a good book, but I don't know if it would ever work as a movie. And but it would be interesting to see if somebody's able to adapt it. Now the last one, and the one that, okay, now this one is kind of a cheat because it has been adapted into a film, but not a very good film. The Running Man. Okay, now I've been saying and saying and saying for years, and I shout it from the rooftops, and I hope somebody hears it at some point. The Running Man needs to be remade, not into a film, but into a series. I think the time is ripe. I mean, we just got rid of the game show host in the White House, but I mean, corporations own everything. Everyone is corrupt. You have an incredible divide between the rich and the poor. There were things in King's novel that were unbelievably prophetic. Even though he didn't see the rise of the internet, everybody's glued to a screen. Drugs that would just make your mind go kablooey. And he even foresaw polio coming back. I mean, it's measles in real life, but measles were all but eradicated. But oh no, they came back. He foresaw the way that words are being made illegal. And I mean, just there are so many incredible details in the book that King foresaw what life is like now, and it's quite stunning to read. And I think that it would make a fantastic series on Netflix or some other streaming site. And if it gets renewed for a second season, then we can pick it up, and then Richards can become a hunter or whatever. But there's so much potential for creativity, and it would make a fantastic dystopian sci-fi series with elements of even just what's going on right now. Because what led to the current culture and culture wars and so on, it's not going to end with the 2020 election. Even though 2020 has just been a crazy world, it's not going to end here. It's going to get worse, and we're going to see more. And I think that right now is just the time is ripe for a show like The Running Man to to point out all of the worst elements that we're sitting in right now. And I mean, it was one of the earliest books that Stephen King wrote, and he wrote it in like a week. And times like that, you just wonder if something just kind of pours itself into him while he was writing way back in the day. But anyway, that's my list of my opinion of books of Stephen King's that I think should be made into a film, and hopefully we'll see it happen. Hope you're reading lots of great horror. Have a great day.